Hi there, it's Kareem from Keeper's Nursery. Today is the 15th of August 2025 and I'm going to do some plum tasting. This is a lovely Friday morning. As you can see, the sun has just risen. I probably should have done this video at least 10 days ago, but I have been very busy working. Right now at this time of the year I'm grafting sort of 400 or 500 trees a day. I've been ill, I'm looking after the kids for the summer holidays, so all in all, I'm a bit behind, so some of these plums are actually past their best. It was actually a good plum year for once. I've just been busy. Anyway, let's go. I'm just going to walk through and show you some trees. So to begin with, we've got the early transparent gauge, which is still hanging on, which I do have to say stays ripe for a long time. It is nicer before it gets to this squishy stage. This is now getting a little bit squishy, where it basically loses its acidity, which is what I like about it. Hopefully you can see on the video. It's called the transparent gauge because it basically has a slightly milky looking outer layer of skin. So sort of underneath it would look like a regular plum, as it were, with the vibrant colors, but it's got a sort of milky outer layer of skin, which I don't know if you can sort of, yeah, it's a bit like a bloom. You can sort of eventually wipe it off. The four transparent gauges which I grow here, the golden transparent gauge, the transparent gauge, the late transparent gauge, and early transparent gauge, pretty standard names, do what they say on the tin. They are all exceptional. They are probably amongst the best plums. It has reached that level of sweetness, but at the, well, I guess it's the apex. At the apex, it might still have the, yeah. So at the apex, it still has that slight acidity to it, which is exceptional. I will actually finish the whole of this plum. I'm not going to finish all the plums, but this is a very good plum. I will highly rate that plum. Next along is Utility, which, I mean, that is the most boring name for a plum. This is way past its best. You can see all of these other ones have sort of shriveled up. This is getting old, but it's not damaged yet. We've not had any rain, so these haven't cracked. This is a very good plum. It's just got a really tragic name. I read a book, I want to say Jacob Rodson. I don't know. I shouldn't really say that on YouTube if I don't know the name. But that guy wrote a book about apples. He was slating names. Utility is amongst the worst names I've heard. Most fruit, I'm very happy with the names. It is such a nice plum, though. The skin is quite thick. It's got slight bitterness and acidity to it. Mostly bitterness on this one, actually. But overall, the flesh is so sweet and juicy that it actually adds to the whole experience of eating the plum. You know, if you didn't imagine a plum was an apple, and, you know, people peel apples and eat them that way. I mean, I do that for my kids sometimes, but you have to take the whole thing. And with plums, the skin tends to have the acidity and, you know, slight tinges of bitterness, which makes the whole experience much nicer. This is just a very nice plum, just with a bad name, but memorable. Utility. Damns anything, we're not going to bother with you. Washington, not going to bother with you. Gosh, I've left this so late. Ulin's gauge is completely finished. There's one up there. That is the Royale de Villevorde. Oh. This is a very nice plum, and it feels perfectly ripe. So when a plum is ripe, it's just got a tiny bit of bounce to it, a bit like a sort of, I don't know what kind of ball I'm going to say, like, what is it, a squash ball? Yeah, I guess like a squash ball. It's like rubbery. So the Royale de Villevorde Again, I think if I'd left this a little bit earlier, it would have been slightly more acidic, which is very pleasing, but it's just exceptionally sweet. It's very nice plum. This would hopefully be purple Pershore, if there are any ripe. I did pick them off the other tree recently. Gosh, look how late I've left this. So purple Pershore, my dad used to, because we've got one of the big trees over there. My dad used to pick these because the stone comes out freely, and it's just a very nice, it does say it's a cooking plum. It's listed as a cooking plum. You can basically slice them in half, take the stones out, and then he used to put them in sugar and cinnamon, and basically the syrup would come out by itself. I don't believe there was any cooking involved, or maybe light heating, but he used to make the loveliest, what he'd call the compote with it. So you might be able to see the stone comes out. I mean, I can just get the stone out with my mouth. Fish it out. So there's like a little cavity in there where the stone, I guess, I don't think it rattles. This is slightly more acidic, but like pleasingly acidic. So I guess it's a bit like the level of acidity in apple juice, where it is sweet, but it has a nice level of acidity as well. Overall, I think this is one of the nicest plums to eat because, again, the flesh is quite meaty. You can see it's sort of held together quite well. You bite into it. The skin is acidic. Most darker coloured plums have that acidity in the skin, which is exceptional. I just love these plums. Just right at the end of the season for them. This is Cox's, I don't know what this one is actually. This is Cox's Emperor. Terrible camera work. I'm not fussed about this, but we'll eat it anyway. It's a pretty boring Victoria type plum, but as in like a much worse Victoria. It's pretty though. I think it probably survived because it was a big old plum. Oh, any of they? So there is a green gauge in here. Oh yeah. Okay, so they are a bit half rotten, but we're going to try it anyway for the camera. So this one is the late green gauge. So a green gauge, you can see it's kind of green. They're not very attractive. I mean, I guess you could wipe the bloom off a little bit and then they're really green. They're sort of ghostly white. I prefer the Renclaude type or the Cambridge gauge type ones. These are slightly larger and slightly more oval. They're very sweet, but they have a, I guess like a gooseberry jam flavor to them as opposed to the sort of intensely sharp sweet style which I prefer with the Renclaudes. But the name green gauge is a very good name, so these things do quite well. This beautiful, oh no, that's it. Say that. This, I think this one must be Verity, but maybe not. No, that's still Imperial. Oh, that's Imperial Epinus. There we go. This one is Imperial Epinus. Again, similar to that other Cox's Emperor one we looked at. It's a nice plum. Most people like this, but it's a bit boring. It doesn't have the acidity. Not interested. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my plum t-shirt. There you go. Very on brand today for the video. Ooh, that's Prince Engelbert, which is basically a Victoria again. So you also get these style plums. These, anything big and yellow, pretty boring. There's is this Thanet Cross, or annoyingly I think most of the labels are on the other side. Thanet Cross, or there's one called Gordon's Castle. Both of them much of a muchness. Pretty boring plums in my opinion. So this one here is man's number one. Let's get a slightly more ripe one here. Again, it looks a lot like a Victoria. Behaves like a Victoria, but again, not as good. Weirdly, when you do all this plum tasting, you knock out all your taste buds, so you can't actually taste some plums. Okay, these blue rocks. Still, I'll eat this one. So this is blue rock. It has been eaten by wasps. Those are the classic wasp holes. Wasps holes? No, wasp holes. That's very good. Nice and sweet. I want to go on the other side. There are better plums. I'll come back from mallard. There's some mallards at the top there. So blue rock's alright. This one must be Verity here because of the leaves. It's not going to be ripe yet either because Verity is a sort of September plum. Oh, I really should have gone on the other side. So this is Kentish bush. Okay, it's not really ripe yet, but that's a Kentish bush. Pretty rock hard. So this big one here, and when I say big, I do mean big. This is called Reeves. Interesting, good plum. It almost got an AGM at the RHS, or it did temporarily get an AGM. Sorry, there was something on my leg. But then we kind of poo-pooed it. All of them are falling on the floor. Or at least I voted against that. Now it's interesting, it's big, it's very similar in texture to one of those Japanese plums, they say. There's probably loads of those Japanese plums, but the ones you buy in supermarkets that aren't the softer European plums, it's a bit sort of firmer. It probably does have a commercial value to it because it hangs around. It's been ripe for a few weeks and it's still pretty solid. And these that have just fallen on the floor, they're not badly damaged actually, and they've fallen. Most plums, if they've had a 1.5 meter fall to the floor, it doesn't have that much flavour. It's alright, most people would be alright with that. It's just not exceptional AGM quality. AGM means a Award of Gardener's Merit, which we don't give out to everyone. So this is a Renclaude Violette. So it's that classic Renclaude shape, little one. When I kind of look off cameras because I'm just trying to desperately find a label before it's too late and I have to guess what it is. Yeah, this is a violette, so violette means like purple violet. Yeah, it's not the best Renclaude. It is very sweet though, very, very sweet. Kind of chucked that away pretty quickly, but we must crack on. This will be one of the herons or something. Heron, mallard, no, it's heron. Nope, it's Dittisham Plowman. Yeah, I'm out of practice. You can see it's already got good camera work. It's got little holes in where the moths have gone in and laid their eggs. Oh, I'll try it anyway. Unless I grab... They're so soft right now. These are like wrinkly old ladies. They're way past their best. Ditching Plowman is usually quite good. Those just aren't. This one is Ariel. Oh, nope, yes. Ariel is here. So Ariel's also... That's terrible camera work. Ariel is also... a big plum. Come on. Sorry. I really want to sneeze. I am just recovering from a cold. I still work through it because one has to if they run a farm on their own. the skin is bitter and thick. It's not sweet enough to balance that out. I've never been much of a fan of Ariel, but it's sort of corally coloured thing. It's all right, I guess. I'm not selling these to you. Autumn Compote is this one. I guess it's not ripe yet. It needs to be in the autumn. It's not a particularly good plum in my opinion. So plums, where they start rotting, these are just, they're getting on a bit. This is the golden transparent gauge. That's odd. They're usually more golden. I'll try and find another one in a sec. If you get rain, which we've not had during the plum season, they start to spoil and crack on the, well, they crack on the tree, and then you get insects coming in, you get bees, you get wasps coming in, and also they just start to rot. So this season's been quite good for that. I'm just really late to the start. Oh, I knew that was never going to be good. But it's mysterious how golden transparent gauge is one of the best plums. I'm just finding quite odd ones. That's too small. Never mind. Early Orleans is finished. Oh well. This is Belle Louvain. I guess we'll pick this one. Nope, we'll pick this one. That's a bit better. So these big sort of teardrop sort of shaped ones. It's very soft. Skin's a bit sour. I mean, they're impressive. There's a pair of plums there. They're impressive. Plums mean something else in English slang. Guess what it means. Yeah, I don't like the, if they have the thick skin and they're not sweet enough, or the texture's not good enough, they're not worth trying. This is Sanctus Abertus. It's not great. No, it's not Sanctus Abertus. It's the next one along. I'm trying to look for the label. La 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 la. Can't find the label. What is this big guy? Look at that. That is a big one. I'm gonna read the label. Excalibur. Similar to the Reeves, it's slightly nicer in that it's got a subtle flavor. It's very meaty. So you can see sort of it's textured. Maybe you can't see it's textured, but again, that probably has some good properties in storage, transportation. Look at all these guys down here, that's what they are. Next one along. Oh, these are so old, but they've survived because we've not had the rain. How about you? You're, again, Dittischen Plowman. We've done this one already. Way past its best. I mean, this just tastes like prunes now. They're the old prunes as well. So next one along is Heron. There are lots of plums named after birds, sort of waterfowl. There's a heron and a mallard and a curlew. There's also blue tip, goldfinch nuts. Has no flavour to it. I think there's something wrong with that one. Let's try heron again. So this one is very ripe again. It's sort of gone. It's lost it's hung around so much. It has lost its bloom from just being exposed to like UV or something. Oh, that is so ripe. Ooh. That's worryingly ripe. I'm not sure. It is nicer, but I think that was ripe about 10 days ago. And in plum world, 10 days is an entire lifetime. So this is one of the Renclaudes. Oh, great, a label. This is Renclaude Rosé, which is kind of means it's pinky, because I think it gets more of the pink speckles on. Again, these are pretty ancient now. This one's a bit better than the other one. It still has that bite. Oh, now that is so exceptionally sweet and slightly meaty, which is so pleasing. It's a bit meaty in the way that a dried apricot is meaty, but it's also very juicy and very sweet. There's that little bit of bite to it. So this is Renclaude. Oh, like the moon. Renclaude Mosaic. Now that is perfectly ripe, and look at that lovely, lovely colour to it. Oh, these are the good ones. So once I eat these, I'm not going to be able to taste anything else. I might have to cut the video short. Okay, I haven't had the Mosaic for a few seasons. That one isn't as sweet. It tastes more peachy. We'll come up to Lindsay gauge, and hopefully there's one on there. This is Renclaude Renclaude, because Lindsay gauge, that's the showstopper one. When you have Lindsay gauge or Renclaude Doré, you no longer taste. Yeah, Renclaude again. More jelly-like inside in the flesh, which isn't as good as the meaty apricot-y thing I was talking about, in my opinion. So this one is Renclaude Vrai, which again, if you're good at French, means the true one, like true or false, like the real one. It is a lovely, lovely looking thing, and you get these little cracks on it as well. Maybe you can't see. I mean, the thing is with plums, if you basically start picking them and walking around, as soon as you lose the bloom on them, I mean, these don't look particularly good once you lose the bloom. It just looks like a green blob, but it is such a nice, wow. So these have this lovely floral flavour to them, which, like, most plums don't have this. The transparent gauges have this as well. It's just this hidden quality. It's sort of like a bit like a melon, where you get a really good melon, as in, well, I guess watermelon, you get good ones and bad ones too. The seeded ones are way better. I don't know why they've stopped doing them. But the way you get a really good cantaloupe or a really good honeydew, and it's actually got the flavour. It's not just sweet and sort of tastes like nothing. It's just got this hidden, it's that thing in melons where you buy, I don't know, 20 of them a year, and only like 4 or 5 of them were actually half decent. The rest you just bought because you were hoping to get that flavour. Things like the Renclaude Vrai, Doré, Lindsay gauge, Bavay, the Précoce, the Tardif Chambourcy, those are, oof, they have that flavour. I will finish these. There's loads of these. These are cool. I might take some for the kids in a bit. Next tree along, it'll be another Renclaude, but I can't see the label. We'll skip it out. There are so many Renclaudes. They're all early favourites. It's not going to be there. They're all relatively similar. Okay, so this is quite a good one. I believe this is Willingham. No, this is Count Elton's gauge. So to me, this one, this lovely blue fella. Oh, that one fell down. Okay, that one feels a bit riper. It's very similar to a purple transparent gauge of some sort, because again, it's round. It's got that firmness. It's not quite ripe. Let me try the other one. I'm gonna hope this big. No, none of these are ripe. Count Elton's gauge is good. The video right now won't suggest it, but I don't think they're ripe right now. But they are good ones if you can get your hands on one that's ripe. Oh, this is one of the transparent gauges, and I've missed it. Never mind. Next one along. That Renclaude has no fruit on. Okay, we're already at curlew. So curlew has very, very orange flesh. Curlew is a type of waterfowl as well. Orangey. It is nice. I don't know what word I said there. I was going to say nice. It is nice. For some reason we list it as a cooking plum. I'd say it's just very... It is, for some reason, quite pleasant. I'm trying to say again what it tastes like. It's a little bit dry. I guess that's why it might be a cooking type plum in like a quetch style, but it's not acidic, so I don't know why you would cook with it. But it's sort of dry in that if you did put it in a plum cake type thing, it wouldn't spoil your cake. So which one of the legendary Renclaudes is this? Because I think we're up to the big boys. Oh no, this is the Lindsay gauge. Okay, so Lindsay gauge, as you can see, even I thought it was a Renclaude. Another Renclaude doré tree is here as well. Lindsay gauge is the sweetest plum, I'm going to say, on planet Earth. Now once I eat this, I'm not going to be able to taste anything else. I'm glad I've made the video when Lindsay gauge is actually ripe, because this is the showstopper. Oh, and it's perfectly ripe. Wow. Wowie wow. That is so sweet. If you have children, they'll eat these. They will eat all of these. If you're a dentist, you're not going to like these because they're so sweet. These are delicious. They're not just sweet, they also have a slight acidity and bitterness in the skin, but it's it's offset by the sweetness. It's so juicy. It's like pure syrup. It's amazing, but it's also tastes very good. It's not offensive in any way. It's not too much. It's just perfection, this. So I mean, if you're trying to Lindsay gauge, there you go. That is good. Let's find the next one along. I think this must be Renclaude doré. Yeah, it is Renclaude doré. Can I find a plum on it? Can I find a plum? It's very similar. Let's see. I'm chuffed. Look at all those Lindsay gauges there. I'm going to take them in for the kids. I don't think I can find a Renclaude doré. I'll go up the other side in a sec. So this is Brassia. I can't say that word. Sazizilvaja. Anyone know what that word is? It wasn't ripe anyway. This is another tricky one. Wangen Heims. It's the next word I don't like. Fruschwetz. Again, that sounds pretty German to me. It's not quite right. Never mind. Monsieur Jaune. Everyone can read a bit of French. So Monsieur Jaune. I don't know if Monsieur Jaune was in the Reservoir Dogs. This one, interestingly, Monsieur Jaune goes kind of pinky rosé, so it's an alright plum. Sort of very orangey inside. Again, I want to say quite melony. It's nice, but not like an overly fragrant melon. So I'm going to go through the rows and back the other side. These are all the cherries down here. They're all lovely. They've all finished. So this tree here, I believe, is Herman. That's the earliest of the earliest. This is the Willingham's gauge. So And much like a Renclaude again, you could say that they're all the same thing. Pretty sure Renclaudes are all pretty much, they grow true to seed, I think, and they all just pop up. Wow, that's exceptionally sweet as well. They are all very similar. If you bought every single Renclaude and Cambridge Gage from me, you would pretty much have an orchard of the same thing everywhere, and people are like, the slight differences being some ripen earlier. Précoce Lyon, he say ripens, a couple of weeks earlier. Tardif Chambourcy is later. Bavets, I think, earlier. Doré's in the middle with Vrai and sort of William Gage. So I think people have just sort of, I don't think they're actually genetically that different either. I think if you did the testing, they would all more or less be the same thing. That's really good. I'm not going to throw that away. This is André Rez. I might be saying that wrong. André Rez. No, I said that right. From Switzerland, it says. That is also nice. It's got that Renclaude sort of toughness to the texture. I like that. That's very good. So this is Renclaude Reformer. It's slightly larger, which makes me always think it's not as good. It's got some other parentage. Yeah, it's like the jelly one. Thick skin jelly inside. Not as good as your cousins, mate. Not as good. So this Cambridge Gage, Palmer's Cambridge. Oh, we've got some. Yes. So the other side's been pruned. Actually, my cousin-in-law has been helping me this year because I'm still budding. So Palmer's Cambridge Gage. So Cambridge Gage, there are just a few. There's a Firkins and a Palmer's that we sell as well. These are extremely similar looking, suspiciously similar to the Renclaudes. I think they're all cousins. That is perfection as well, because you have to bite into these, but they're also soft inside, and they're also so sweet, and they've also got a bit of acidity. They've just balanced perfectly, texture perfect, size, lovely small things. Absolutely love them. Wow, that is way too ripe. Look at that. But that skin is firm. This is called a Madeleine Nom Blot. Ooh, how far can I... Okay, now it's squishing up. Let's get a less ripe one. Okay, so that one's been wasp approved. After what I've just been eating, I'm sorry, this one's not very impressive. Door. Hackman. Gene Hackman. No, not gonna try that one. Gross Princess. Sorry, that was terrible filming. Again, no, it's not Princess. It's Grosse Priesse. Not interested in that one. Okay. Belgian Green Gage. Interesting. It's not very green. Exceptionally mediocre, having tried all those other ones. Let me just check the Doré tree, which is here. Oh, there was one, but it's way dead. Aha! It was worth coming. Oh, there's loads here. Okay, so this one is Renclaude Doré. Okay, that one was nice. Was it definitely? Yeah, that's Renclaude Doré. So this is also the big dog of the Renclaudes. It is the big dog of the Renclaudes, actually. I like the Lindsay Gage more. If I hold this up to a Lindsay Gage, Okay, that's quite a ripe Lindsay gauge. They look like the same thing, don't they? Pretty much the same looking thing. And these two trees are growing into each other, which reinforces the sugariness. So that's how farming works. Okay. That is unbelievable. That just melted in my mouth. Mmm. Wow. Mmm. So this is sort of peak horticulture right here. Yeah, that's just peak horticulture. I don't care if you grow strawberries or mangoes or whatever you grow in your garden. If you're a breeder of whatever, if you've come up with that and you retire, you just think, well, I've created perfection. I don't really. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and pick all them before the wasps come and give them to my kids. Those are exceptional. Wow. Yeah, I've not had one of these properly for a couple seasons. About 10 years ago, I went through all the plums, tasting them, and gave my dad loads of notes, did everything for the website, and I was blown away by plums. And the problem is I don't get to do that every year because plum season is sort of hit and miss nowadays, mostly because the spring weather does something and the flowers come out too early, and then we suddenly get bad weather. But yeah, you will never be disappointed if you have a good crop on your plum trees and you grow plum trees, because I tend to think of plums as basically it's the summertime, it's the best time of the year. I mean, apples are amazing, everyone loves apples. Well, I love apples and everyone should love apples. Actually, people don't love apples, but my point being, they ripen at it can be a bit hit and miss. You know, some apples ripen in October and November. It's not as good as August, is it? It's not as good as July. Right now, if you've got a nice plum tree and it's summery like it is now, and you're out there picking plums, it's good for it's good clean fun for the whole family. You're all out there with your kids picking plums, and everyone remembers good plums. Apples, maybe you won't go out for a week because it's a bit rainy. You'll forget about your apple tree. You'll come back and grow plum trees. That's what I'm saying. Also, for some reason, other people's plum trees on the internet seem to be quite expensive this year. Ours are the same price, so that's why apparently people keep buying my plum trees. And I was trying to work out with all these orders why people keep buying plums. It's because we've not raised our prices for some reason, because it just seems a bit mean to just for no reason raise your prices. But buy a Renclaude or a Lindsay gauge if you're watching this video. I'm going to carry on, but I cannot emphasize how much you won't be disappointed by this, and you will have the best of the best in your garden, and you will think, this is actually the best thing. The sad thing is it won't maybe fruit every single year because of whatever happens with the spring, but hopefully, if you have a big enough tree, because these are cordon, so cordon trained trees doesn't actually help with the amount of fruit you get on them, because you're basically cutting off most of last year's growth, so you actually drastically reduce the number of flowers. But if you grow these as if you grow these as freestanding trees, you will get a better crop. But I'm carrying on. Having done that, I'm not going to be able to taste the next one. So this is Gordon Castle. I don't know why people grow these. Maybe there's some hidden reason. I don't. Big yellow plums. Not very good. This one's actually, I think in the past... Oh, clumsy. These are way too ripe. Okay, a hard one to pronounce as well. This is de Bejonnière. Ooh, that was awful. They're way too ripe. They are nice. Okay, so Tardive Chambourcy. This one is a very good Renclaude. You can see it's actually green. It's because it's not ripe yet. So that's like your late season Renclaude. That's what you get so that you can, late August, you you can have your Renclaude fix in late August, because you can't bottle this. You cannot store these. Don't know what that guy is. Primate. Ugh. Terrible name. Trapdoor Esperance. I guess that one's right. Bit of a russet. We've got our first russet plum. Now that would be cool. Weird. That's almost reset my palate because it's just a bit boring and acidic. Let me try a slightly better looking guy. I think this will be boring as well. It's a bit like a rubbish Uhlans gauge. Yeah, rubbish Uhlans gauge, let's call it that. This is the president. This is the Donald Trump. Nope, neither of them are ripe. That's the Donald Trump plum. Bave Ringole. No, Renclaude. I mean, it's meaty but dry and not very sweet. Merriweather. So we've got loads of Damsons and Bullises coming up. I'm not actually going to try them all. That one you can actually eat off the tree. Now the skin is way more acidic. That's actually quite fun to eat. I think my children would love that. Kids would love that. Oh, okay, these are all Damsons. Swan is here, which was a big... Okay, swans. Frustratingly all the way over there. It's a big plum. It's very similar to heron and mallard, actually. I'm not saying all waterfowl look alike, but because they genuinely don't. The plum versions do, and the plum versions are all similar. I think heron might be the best of the bunch. That's not ripe. Yellow Pershaw. Again, I'm not fussed about these big yellow guys. I will eat it for the for everyone to know. Kind of tastes of nothing. Don't bother growing it. I do sell them, but don't know why you're buying it. Let's keep going. Yeah, again, 7 cross. Don't buy it. Save your money. Oh, golden transparent gauge. So I'm picking the way too ripe one because these will be the good ones. I might try that one actually. These ones aren't ripe. It has that lovely melony flavour. I mean, that one was kind of funky, let's call it. Again, that has a lovely melony flavour, but it's a bit dry because it's not a very good one. Golden transparent gauge is amazing. Trust me. If you trust me, if you watch my videos, and hopefully you don't just think I'm a thicko with loads of fruit trees. Trust me, those are really, really, really good plums. Kirk's blue. I do like the blue colour. I mean, there are loads of other blue ones, but it's nice to see them. And the bloom is the best bit. You don't want to buff these up. You could, but they would just look stupid. It tastes like liqueur. It's very nice. It's a bit too ripe, but very nice. This big one is Jubileum. Good looking them. There's loads at the bottom here. I'm surprised the badgers haven't just come and ripped these off. The badgers were like climbing up my Asian Asian pear trees, ripping those to shreds. actually ripping the trees to shreds, but for some reason they're leaving these. Which doesn't say that these are bad, unless these are poison to badgers, but yeah, not right. Okay, badgers are clever. Let me try a more ripe one. How's that not ripe? These have been like this for weeks. Try another one. Okay, that one is ripe. So it's got thick skin, slightly chewy actually. The flesh is lovely. It's very... Oh, that skin is really bitter. The flesh is very jelly-like, very sweet. Yeah, it's a good plum. It's massive. You can see why it exists, but not my favourite. This is the Quetch Alsace, not quite ready yet. Diamond. So diamond is Damond. It's a big looking fella. These are all diamonds. I don't think they're ready yet. There's loads there again. I don't know why these... Yeah, I mean, it's not the nicest plum to eat. It's a big one. Next one along is... Well, Jefferson's Gage hasn't got any fruit in it. I don't know what that purple one is. Laxton's Cropper. Ooh, that's the Merton gem. Guess it's almost right. Merton gem has a certain look about it because it's sort of yellow and red. I don't think this is right. It's quite firm, not too juicy. Not fussed. You're not fussed about that. 7 Cross, who are you? Got to follow the branch back to the tree. So this is a Washington. I'm assuming named after one of the Washington places in America. Because we've got one in the east and the west. Know my geography. Yeah, it's alright. For a big sort of sweet yellowy thing, bit jelly like, meh, sort of alright with that. I don't know who this guy is. The tree has basically died off and I've not labelled it, but I could work it out one day. So now Victoria Plum. So one of the benefits of doing this video slightly late is that the Victorias are actually ripe. So if you buy Victorias in the shops, they don't let them get to this stage. They sort of pick them when they're still a bit yellow. Not that people buy plums from shops. But yeah, Victoria's actually quite good. You know, it's not an exceptional plum, but it is actually quite a good plum, and it's sort of the only plum everyone's heard of in this country. I don't know if it's popular in other countries, maybe not, but we sort of, it's almost like, you know, wow, I've really not thought of anything to say there, but it's that thing where if someone says a plum, they're, oh, I like Victoria plums, and it shows a level of, okay, I know a name of a plum, and that, but then people think that's the only plum, and that's the only good plum, and that's the best plum, and you sort of think like, it's a bit like Cox's Orange Pippin. Oh, I love Cox's, or I don't like, you know, Galas and all that other rubbish in the supermarkets. I like Cox's. People are a bit the same. I've got spider webs all over my phone. People say the same thing about Victoria plums, which... Yeah, Victoria plums are good. They're sort of late season plums, well, mid-late season plums, as they ripen in the second half of August usually. I think everything's a bit early this year. They're pretty. The ones in the supermarkets are rubbish because they pick them way too early, because they sell them because it's like the public demand that they exist, but there's no point picking them early because they don't ripen. That's really nice. That is Reminds me a little bit of an orange flavoured calipo, which I guess you have to be English to understand the reference. It is a lovely sweet flavour with a slight orange sweet orange, let's call it candy or sweet flavour to it actually. It's slightly meaty. The stone does not come free. Like, it's got all the like little fibrous hairs on, a bit like a mango I guess, but not as bad as a mango. But the skin is tiny bit acidic, but not offensive, and definitely not bitter. Overall, it is a very, very good plum. If you just had a Victoria tree in your garden, that was all you knew about, you're not doing too bad. You're doing quite well. It's probably better than most of the purple skinned plums. To be fair, there aren't many red skinned plums actually. They're mostly either dark purple or they go on the green side. So it does, apart from all the imposter Victorias, which I just say are just worse. I mean, it is better than all the imposter Victorias. I forget the names of them all. Like Imperial Epinus, like this guy here. This is nowhere near as nice as a Victoria. Yeah, the skin's more bitter and thicker. The flesh is too jelly-like. Oof. Yeah, Victoria plums are actually very good. A bit like a Cox or a Russet, where it's the other thing people have heard of. So, moving on. We're almost at the end of this video, sadly. Don't worry though, there will be another video at some stage. This is a brandy gauge. If you eat enough of them, you can get drunk. No, but it is an intense flavour to it. Wow, I've written dual purpose on the label. No, it's got a rich, syrupy, sort of strong flavour to it. It's very soft, quite buttery. There is something about the flavour I think some people might not like, but I'm down with it. Oh, sadly the Cambridge gauge hasn't got a tree, but we tried the Palmer's Cambridge gauge today. I didn't find Firkins. This is what we call a giant prune, which is again an insult. Giant prune. This is the old green gauge. So we tried the late green gauge earlier. So it's got that sort of cucumber, no, what is it? Like a watermelon. Oh, focus, you silly camera. There you go. Oh, wow. There you go. Watermelon-y looking thing. Good job, Google camera. You're really good at being a camera. So the skin is quite thick. A little bit acidic. It's very soft. It's very sweet. It just doesn't have any sort of, it doesn't have that melony flavour or slight acidity, which I like about the Renclaudes. So I'm not a big fan of these. I'm not a big fan. I know people are. Maybe it's sacrilege because people I've heard of green gauges as well. Lovely name again. So this is Goldfinch, which is one of these big yellow plums, which are actually good. So as opposed to the big pear-shaped ones, the round yellow plums tend to be good. It might just be that they're slightly more related. Goldfinch, again, is one of these Rivers. The breeder was called Rivers. He lived in Sawbridgeworth. Basically everything's named after birds, so, you know, you can just work it out. But yeah, I really like Goldfinch. Slightly past its best because it's lost its acidity. Freestone, useful. Num num num. Oh, this is Belgian purple. That's quite nice because it's got the acidity. It's sweet and it has a slight acidity to it. That's a very nice plum. This is the Warwickshire Drooper. Oh, come on. Nope, none of these are right. That one's right. Ta-da! Big old thing. That one's not that great. So the ones that we've missed are the Early Rivers Prolific. That's quite nice. Opal is... Okay, I'm going to talk to the camera. Opal is, you know, start of the season, late July. It's very reliable, always one of the best plums. It's not as sweet as the Renclaudes, but it's meaty. It's got a nice balance of acidity and sugar. I think it's one of the best plums because, again, the time of the year, end of July. It's not the end of the summer holidays yet, you know. Now we're entering the last 3 weeks of the summer holidays. You know, you get that sort of, school's around the corner. I'm thinking back to childhood when it's the end of July. That's, you know, you've got the whole of summer ahead of you. It's amazing. Up here we've got Ulin's Gauge. They are pretty much finished. You might not be able to see, there are a few of them around, but unfortunately I'm not 12 feet tall, so I can't pick them. We're quickly going to run up to the other bit of the nursery where there are a few other plums. Yeah, I might as well do that. Okay, say bye-bye to these trees. So there's a few more plums to try here. This is a Mirabelle Metz, which is not that great actually. The Mirabelle, the Nancy, is a really good one. This one's a pretty rubbish one. So this tree's got the lovely silver leaf. This is Haganthia. They're not really these big ones. These are cherry plums. These are big, stinking old cherry plums. Cherry plums are not great. This variety is called Sugar. Now, is it super duper sweet? No. Why is it called Sugar? Don't know. Don't know who's bred that. Change the name, mate. Disgraceful. Okay, this is a really old Ontario plum. Ontarios are very, very nice. That is beyond old. My goodness, I'm not eating that. Take that back to the kitchen. This is Valor. These newer plums, I don't know if they're newer plums. The newer plums to our collection have got some really rubbish names. That's awful. No offense. Hey, another Belgian purple. So let's see if this is as good as the one I tried earlier. Yeah. Very overripe, but yeah, that's all right. Don't want to try you. We're just racing through the last few. Stella Star. I don't know much about this at all. Good handwork there. Yeah, okay, let's try this. It looks rubbish. I mean, look at those. Do they look inviting? No. Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, the skin's a bit acidic, the flesh is a bit... It's all right. It's a freestone. Don't know why I'm eating it. It's sort of... It's not... It's a bit like a weird melon, let's put it like that. It's when you buy a melon and it's not very good. Ooh, this is a big one. Burbank tangerine, whatever that means. Mr. Burbank, that's not very good. Aprimara. like a, what's a miracot? Is it? I'm assuming that means it's a Mirabelle apricot cross. Stop hybridizing stone fruit, whoever's doing that. Please stop hybridizing stone fruit for the sake of hybridizing stone fruit. I've already said it. If you invented the Lindsay gauge and the Renclaude, you have perfected stone fruit. And there is no need to do it. Top taste culinara. Okay, that's not right. Let's try again. You can't end on that. Top taste culinara. Take two. Don't buy it. Okay, that's all I can be bothered to do today. Oh, let's look over. Oh, there's one more. Let's try that one as well. Oh, should we? Laxton's Light. Not right. Never mind. Okay, trees are there. Can't, wave bye-bye to the sun. Thanks very, very much for watching what was actually a very long video. It was good though, because there were lots and lots of Renclaudes to try. That's basically all you need to know about. If you're buying plum trees, probably get yourself a Victoria. Get yourself one of the transparent gauges, or all of them, depending on space. Get yourself definitely a Lindsay gauge, a Renclaude Doré, maybe a Précoce Lyon. 100% get yourself an opal tree, maybe even an early Rivers prolific, because those will be early season ones. Later season stuff that we've not covered today: Verity and a Spath, maybe a Quetch d'Alsace, just so that you can cook with them later, and also Marjorie seedling. You need those as well. There is one other plum that I've not got any fruit on the little trees yet: Avalon. I love Avalon so much. That's a really nice plum, or at least my memory serves me well. It is a nice plum. Also, blue tit is very good, and we didn't try blue tit. I'm 99% sure it's finished. It stays ripe for a long time. You can basically pick it from very late July. So now it's 2 weeks later. It's not going to still be on the tree. I was picking those about at least 2-3 weeks ago. Blue tit's very good as well. And maybe something like an Uhling's gauge is very good as well, because that's quite an early season big yellow sweet thing, or an Ontario. So write those down. But yeah, order all of those. I'll sell them to you. No, but order. Those in my opinion are the best ones, especially for around here. Appreciate if you're further north, they might not do as well, I guess. I know a lot about growing how things perform where I am, but I can't say I know how they all perform in other parts of this country, or let alone any other part of the world. You just have to I guess, try it, or ask people who have their own means to grow them. But yeah, I guess next video I will probably run around to do about breeding again, and then back to the old apples, and back to the pears, and all the good stuff. Okay, thanks for watching. That's a very long video. Thanks for all your patience. Sorry, it's been a bit of a weird day. I've gone a bit mad from all the work I'm doing, grafting all day. Take care, bye bye.